Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. For this week we have Arena Skirmish will be the weekly. The PvP brawl is going to be South Shore versus Terran Mill. We have Time Walking Legion. This will be the second week of it. It's running for 2 weeks. However, the Mage Tower did get extended, so Time Walking Legion will end the 21st, so that's the dungeons and all that, but the Mage Tower will stay in effect until January 4th. So why they didn't just choose to keep the two together, I don't know, but that's how it's going. So we are going to have the Mage Tower for a full month this first time around. And then there's also Winter Veil that will be happening, and this one actually has a new achievement. I was looking through my list. I've always had, pretty much for years, 10 years or so, I've had all the achievements in Winter Veil, and so I just thought I'd check, before doing this video to see if there was anything new, and there is this. I screenshotted it. So there is a new achievement in effect for this year. And of course there'll be a new toy and all that. So definitely make sure to check your stuff on Christmas Day. I'll remind you guys again probably next week. And yeah, and that's the weekly events going on for this week. So as for my goals and accomplishments, I didn't really set any goals. I kind of just wanted to have a relaxed week, mainly because I'd done so much during the anniversary and all that. So that's exactly what I did. But like always, I seem to always accomplish things. So the things I accomplished this week was the Monday night, which was the last WoW Weekly day. So shortly after that video posted, I had logged back into the game, and we had the Night Fae Assault for the rest of that day. I was gonna reset to something else on reset. I quickly went in there, did that, and I actually got the mount. So this is my first Maw Assault mount. I have not been getting lucky with any of the stuff from there, aside from achievements, but anything that comes out of the cash boxes, yeah, I have not been getting lucky with those. So this is my first real good cash reward. So I got the Night Fae Assault mount, which is the Legsplitter Warharness. And it looks okay. I think it's got some pretty cool decorations. I'm not really a person that likes the big mounts. I'm sure you've seen me on many mounts, and they're all tiny. They're all, well, I won't say tiny, but they're like small to average sized mounts. I don't like overbearing mounts. So, and I feel like this is one of those. You could definitely hide a couple of people under that mount, and that's just not my style. But I like collecting them, so that's cool. And then the second and final accomplishment I did this week was some pet battles. I noticed I was missing just 2 pet battles to complete the family Exorcist. And so I went and did those. I put together some teams and they passed. So I finally finished family Exorcist this week. So that was really cool. I still have a ton of videos to post on that for you guys. So I'm struggling right now to catch up in videos. But I'm working on it, I swear, and we will see more strat videos on the channel soon for those that are maybe struggling on this achievement. It's not an easy one, it's very time consuming. You gotta have the proper pets to complete, these parts of them. So that was really cool. I was glad to have that, and that pet is super adorable. I think he's so cute. So those are my accomplishments. For those wondering, like, have I been doing the Mage Tower? I went in a couple of times, but honestly, My goal with the Mage Tower right now is to make money. Because, and that was kind of the goal to begin with. I knew that once the Mage Tower came in, people were going to spend like crazy on the stupidest things. So, yeah, and I also know that the Mage Tower is tough. I did it a lot in Legion, and I spent a shit ton in repairs in Legion, and I remember that. I remember that very well, and so I just kind of figured I would, cash in on the gold farm of this. I want to take advantage of the gold. I've often been told I should make gold guides because I gain a good chunk of gold over pretty much doing nothing. I don't really do anything too severe. I just have alts that craft things, and I sell them when I see that they're hot, right? And I've often been told, but I do so many other types of videos. That's why you never see gold guides on here, and no one really asks for them. So I just don't bother. I know there's other people out there that do gold guides, and they can keep doing them. Honestly, if you're not interested in the Mage Tower, making some gold right now is easy. Yes, it's gone down. The first couple of days I was making big bucks over on the auction house. Now I'm still doing good, but it's not as good. But it's still worth it. This is the time to do it. The next time the Mage Tower comes around, the hype's gonna be totally down. People will have waited so long, they're gonna barely care about the Mage Tower, and yeah. Yeah, so this really is the time to either do the Mage Tower if you're interested in it, or make gold off of it, because after it's done with, people probably won't spend nearly as much gold on the stuff that they need. And honestly, soon here, people are going to realize that they can just do this in Shadowlands gear. A lot of people don't realize that right now because people follow guides or they follow what other people say works, and people are saying to use old school gear, and you don't have to. You can do it with Shadowlands, but it benefits us gold makers because people think you have to use that. So they're buying all this stuff that's super easy to make right now, super easy to collect. I went and emptied out my gem tab from the guild bank. I've been just tossing gems in for, I don't know, since Lich King, since whenever we could have the guild bank, basically. And I've just, it was like a complete packed gem tab. Like you couldn't even deposit anything else. And I went and took it all out and sold it. So people are buying stuff. If you've got anything lying around that you think could sell, that's, I don't know, around panda stuff, definitely go into your bank, clear out some room. It's a great way. The biggest seller for me has been the drums, and my shaman makes it. She's the leather worker, so I just get her to make the drums. But they have been selling like hotcakes. I have had her kind of busy lately because they're selling so fast, she has to actually farm some leather. So yeah. And that's like the major one. I've been selling gems too and some flasks and all that, but I would say the drums, they're the biggest seller of them all, for sure. So just thought I'd add that in. That's mainly what I've been doing this week, just making some money. So that's my plan. I'm still gonna just stick to the gold farming aspect for the Mage Tower, take advantage of it. I did go in there a couple of times. You saw a video where I was in there. Unfortunately, the video was really short, so you only saw like half my run. I will eventually do it. I do want the tower overwhelming achievement, but I'm just not in the mindset for it right now. I'd rather do it when I really want to do it. And right now I feel like I'd just be forcing myself into that content. Plus, due to the amount of money I've been making off materials, I won't even probably attempt to do all the classes and stuff till that money really drops down. It's been a bit since I've been able to sell old stuff for this kind of money. It makes me glad that I keep a lot of stuff. And on the topic of all the classes, aka Tower Overwhelming, I know a lot of people don't care about the feat of strength. I've heard many comments of, what's the point? It's worth 0 points. And the funny part is those are the ones that I love. I get more hyped about a feat of strength achievement than I do a regular achievement, which is hilarious because it is worth 0 points. But I feel like I did something really good when I accomplish a feat of strength, you know? They're meant to be achievements that not everyone would have. And yeah, they make me feel more accomplished when I do them. So yeah, that's my plan eventually. But let me know what yours is. I know everyone's a little different. I know a couple of people, a lot of my friends, they're just after like 3 appearances. They're not even going for the mount, and they're definitely not going for Tower Overwhelming. But yeah, and on the topic of Tower Overwhelming, there's been a couple of people that have already accomplished that this week. I saw a post earlier this week that showed a couple of people with all of that, and that's just crazy because we've only had it for a week, right? That's some heavy duty. All they're doing is fucking Mage Tower, you know, like, yeah, because to accomplish that, that's a lot of challenges. That's every spec for every class. And yeah, I can't believe it, you know. Some people haven't even done 4, let alone the amount. I can't remember how much it equals for Tower Overwhelming, but I'd say it's, you know, close to the 20 mark, because Druid has 4 specs, and then most other classes have 3, aside from, I guess, the Demon Hunter that only has 2. But yeah, I'd say it's upwards to roughly 20 challenges. Congrats to them. That is a lot of work and a lot of skill involved, you know, because you gotta remember that everyone has a main class, right? And when you're not doing the challenge on that main class, you're kind of rusty. You have to learn that class. It's all skill, you know, so you have to really learn that class. You can't just go in and do every, you know. So when I hear people have done stuff like that, I'm really impressed, because that means they took the time to learn every class. Either that or they cheesed it, whatever. But chances are, this early into it, yeah, with it being the first week, they learned those classes and put the skill into it. As for goals, there is one thing I've been wanting to get back into, but the anniversary was just such good experience, and then there was rep for a while there that I just put everything on hold during it. But I had started my hardcore character when it came out, and then I took a huge break because of the anniversary buff. So I think that'll be the goal this week. I'm gonna get back into that, level my druid a little more. I can't even remember what level she was when I ended. It's been so long since I've logged in. And yeah, so that's my only real goal. But you know, I accomplish things without having goals, so I'm sure other stuff will come up. Okay, so with that said, let's get to news. So I figured we'd start the news off with a bang. Let's talk Sylvannas stuff. So there is a new model for Sylvannas. It doesn't look too bad. So these are pictures of it, including her bow. There's also been a new cinematic. This one I did show off in one of the videos this past week, but it's a campaign video from PTR, so you might have missed it. So I am gonna play it. Here is the new 9.2 cinematic. Really good. I really enjoyed this cinematic. So here it is. And and I'll see ya after.
Sylvannas' soul has been fractured from the moment of her death until now.
Burn it! This was their home. And you slaughtered all of them! How could you take all those innocent lives? This was beyond life and death. There was no other path to true freedom. How can you not see that? I see what you are. Murderer! Monster! Butcher! Why can I not escape this torment?
The jailer has severed their bond and condemned her to endlessly relive her atrocities. So long as her soul remains divided, she cannot wake.
Maybe she shouldn't.
She's the only one who knows the jailer's plan and how we might save Anduin.
She's the one that turned Anduin.
Jaina is right. How can we possibly trust her?
Her wound runs so much deeper than mine. Well met, Ranger General.
What is this? Who are you?
Someone who shared your fate, felled by the blade of the very same prince.
Arthas. I died trying to stop that monster, only to wake up haunted by one with my face.
That Banshee is you.
No. I cannot accept that.
Her path began where yours ended, and you've seen the decisions she made.
Never in 1,000 lifetimes would I betray everything I stood for. You can't possibly understand.
The jailer is deceptively cunning. When I realized I had become his pawn, it nearly destroyed me. He had no doubts it would destroy you as well. Was he right? Or will you accept her shattered legacy and tell us how to stop him?
Her crimes are unforgivable.
Yes.
And she... I must face the consequences.
We cannot change the past, and we may never find forgiveness in the future. But inaction damns us all. Time is short, Ranger General. Make your choice. I've done all I can.
Okay, so next up, this is another little cutscene that occurs in the 9.2 campaign, and this one has to do with reforging the helm. Very quick cutscene, less than a minute. Here you go.
who defied domination. That which sought to bind us will be made anew. Behold, the crown of wills.
And here's another quick little cutscene. And this one involves Sylvannas. She, reflects on her past with Arthas.
I don't remember the exact moment I wrested control. I do remember the rush of freedom. The clarity of purpose. When I loosed my arrow, I sought to become his judge and his executioner. I thought that if I could punish him for his crimes, I would be absolved of mine. Forgiven for the atrocities he forced me to commit against my own people. But there would be no justice that day. For anyone. That is yet to come.
And this one is the final one I'm showing you, having to do with a conversation between Bolvar and Talia.
There is so much I want to ask you. I don't know where to start. When you grow up believing your father is a dead hero, everything is much more neat and tidy. When you learn he's quite alive, it's different.
The man I was did die that day. The dragon's fire sealed my purpose.
But couldn't you at least have let me know you were still there? Under that helm all that time?
Would you have journeyed to Icecrown if you knew?
Yes, of course. I would have gone anywhere for you.
Which is why you could not know. I had to make that sacrifice to keep you and the rest of the world safe from that place.
But it wasn't just you who made that sacrifice. It was the rest of us, too. Everyone who loved you.
I know. And for the pain it caused you, I will always feel sorrow.
Okay, so that last one got cut off early. I'd apologize, but I'm not the one that recorded that last one. I took it off the site. So they, for whatever reason, they ended it early. But it was just that last final line. I've done the campaign, so I know that there was nothing after that. So if you didn't read the dialogue that was there, the final line was, "I pray that one day you forgive me for it," and that kind of ends the scene. So those are the cinematics, cutscenes, conversations that we know of at the moment. Over on the PTR, you only have up to Chapter 5. So I will have Chapter 5 on the channel this week. And the first 4 chapters are already on the channel. So definitely you can check them out if you're interested. But those are, the major highlights of the campaign. Okay, so the next piece of news we're going to talk on is flying in Zerith Mortis. So we have discovered what will be needed for flying, and it is an achievement. So it's called Ciphers of the First Ones, and you'll have to complete these 4 different areas. Now, once again, like I said, I've been uploading a lot of PTR stuff this past week. And so This one is one of them. It is chapter 3, so if you want to go check out that video, I'll link it at the end of this one too, since I am kind of involving a lot of what I did this past week in WoW Weekly. And basically there's a whole system for this. So this is going to be a bit of a grind. And in the chapter 3 campaign that you see me do, you see me open up the beginning of this, where we get Pocopoc, I believe is his name. He's a companion, and then there's like a whole system that you unlock. Here's a little screenshot of kind of what it's gonna look like, and these cost quite a bit. Of course, I don't know the speed yet of us getting these items. And things always change from PTR to live, but I can already tell it's gonna be quite the grind, because there's a lot of ranks to some of these, and there's 4 rows, of course, and then those final ones require like 200 of the items to be able to activate it. So for this achievement, the Metrial Understanding. So that is going to be the first part you will unlock. And basically it's when you open up chapter 3, and it's called Forming an Understanding. And you'll be given some materials to just activate, and so that is going to get you the Metrial Understanding part. And then Aelic Understanding is going to require 45 ciphers of the first one. You will have to have fully researched Metrial Understanding to unlock this talent, and it will take 45 ciphers of the first one, and it takes 18 hours to research that. The next one is Dialic Understanding. You need to fully research Aelic Understanding in order to unlock this talent. It's going to cost 200 ciphers of the first one, and this one is going to take almost 7 days. The exact is 6 days and 18 hours. And then your final one is Trebulum Understanding, and once again, you need to fully research Dialic Understanding. And you will need 260 of these ciphers. And this one also takes 6 days and 18 hours. So realistically, from that understanding, it's going to take you roughly 15 days to unlock all this. It's unknown if this is going to be an account-wide flying. My guess, just because I'm used to Blizzard, my guess is not at the beginning. I think not at the beginning, but down the road it may. Yeah. So I think if you do this right off the bat, it's probably going to be for that character and only that character, and then they'll patch it up and they'll tell us that it's account-wide. Yeah, that's my guess anyway. Okay, on screen right now is the nerfs for December 10th. This, basically involves the Mage Tower. Okay, next up is something I'm totally looking forward to. This is going to be a new feature in 9.2. It is a dancing game that you can do in the Darkmoon Fair, and I love to dance, so I love all these dancing type games. I was always a big fan of like the dancing games and the guitar games like Rock Band, and, all that stuff. And I love music type games. And so this one I'm so hyped for. So we have 3 abilities here. You're gonna have your yellow rune, that is the chicken dance. The purple rune is your power spin, and the blue rune is fist bump. You have 5 seconds to match the exact sequence that will be used by the dancer. Now, as far as the time, there's no punishment for the time it takes you. You just need to do it within that time and don't screw up. The game will end after 5 rounds. There is a total of 9 achievements that you can get with this new dance game. First one is to successfully participate in it. Second is to successfully participate in 30 of them. Earn a perfect score in the Darkmoon Fair Dance game on easiest difficulty, and then one for 10 times on easiest, and then another for medium difficulty, and then 10 times on medium, and then another for hardest difficulty, and then 10 times on hardest. And then your final one is going to be the complete the 3 earn a perfect score 10 times achievement. So so that's a freebie achievement pretty much, because you gotta complete all the rest anyway. The next thing I want to talk on is the Pocopoc companion. So there was some new things with this one. I did post it in that chapter 3, but for those that didn't watch that, because I did tag it with like heavy duty spoilers. But there is some special event costumes for your companions. So definitely, by the sounds of them, we're looking at one for like a Valentine's Day event, one for the Pirates event. That Wicked one kind of seems like it would be for Hollow's End. It does kind of seem like a different take on the Pepe stuff. Personally, I think our cute little bird is better. Plus, to be honest, you just kind of get this robot. I'm not sure, like, if they're gonna make it so you can just summon him out whenever. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be tied to Shadowlands. So when you exit Shadowlands, you don't have them. Kind of like how, well, we could use WoD as an example. If you've done stuff in WoD, you'll know that, you have a WoD ability when you enter. Honestly, I'm totally up for, hunting down these and getting some costumes. The only thing I don't like about this is, and you can't see this because it's a screenshot, you can't see me mouse over, but they stack to 10. So these are bag items that, you have to have them in your bags. They only stack to 10. And as someone who, my main character is the character that I've been playing for 17 years, bags have been an issue for me for so many years. My bank space is full. My void storage is pretty much full. My bags, I manage to get roughly 10 empty spots every so often, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, I'm constantly emptying out my reagents to make more room. And so I don't typically like anything that has to be carried in your bags. Now, I guess I could solve that by never getting more than 10 so that there's not a second stack of one. I think it would have been nicer for it to act as a toy or something. I honestly might just farm this on an alt instead of my main character, because there's no achievements attached to it or anything like that. So my main character doesn't need them, and my alts have way more bag space available and bank space available than my main does. So yeah, that might just be something I do. In case you're just wondering, they are soulbound, so you can't shift them around, move them to alts and stuff like that. Okay, so next up, Infinite Timereaver. We did discover this week that you can actually get that from the Mythic Plus dungeons as well. So it can drop from the end of dungeon chest. And I'll just clarify in case people think it's any Mythic Plus dungeon now. The Legion Time Walking Mythic Plus. So during Legion Time Walking, you have extra ways you can get the Infinite Timereaver. For those that maybe don't know, the normal way is that you just kill any boss in the time walking dungeons. Each boss is an attempt. And that pretty much concludes the Shadowlands WoW news. One last piece of news I'd like to add, but it's Diablo related, is that the new season started up with D3. I know I'm bad for like telling you guys this one in time nowadays. Like, I used to play Diablo so consistently that I used to be a lot better. Now I don't know they start until they start, more or less. So yeah, but honestly, if this is like such a big deal to anyone, just let me know and I'll make it a habit to be a little more ahead with the Diablo stuff. But season 25 is in effect now. I can't believe there's 25 seasons. I used to play them pretty consistently, and then I think it was like season 13 that I kind of stopped. So yeah, that's why I'm not really great at knowing like a week ahead of time for when the seasons are starting. But for those that are interested, this is pretty much the screenshot we're gonna go after here. So you'll have your armor sets, the pet. I'm trying to remember if that pet is new. I know they've been recycling pets for a while now. So I think he's new, but I'm not totally sure. So the theme of it is, it says players can embrace evil by infusing themselves with the essence of the Lord of Hell. Players will embark on their season journey to discover and upgrade demonic soul shards based on the 7 Lords of Hell. By embodying a prime and lesser evil, players will inflict new forms of pain and suffering on the demons of Sanctuary. This has to do with the upcoming 25th anniversary of the Diablo franchise, so that's cool. The theme sounds really good. And I did just look up to see if that pet is new, and it is. So disregard what I said, and obviously I'm too lazy to edit it out. But the pet is a new pet. And here's a list of recent bug fixes they've done in D3. It's actually been a while since I've been in D3, so I might actually try out this season. See how it is. It's tough for me because like I used to be so involved in the leaderboard, and honestly the leaderboard is what kept me going so consistently. Once I stopped caring about the leaderboard, I kind of stopped caring about playing the game, you know? So yeah, but I'm kind of want that pet. So yeah. I haven't actually really been in the game since they made these theme things, which has been for a while now. So yeah. So anyway, that concludes the news. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having fun in the game, in the Mage Tower, time walking, and all that stuff. So have a great one, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.